Welcome back to the channel. My name is Lena and today I'm going to talk pros and cons of having an Airbnb in your house. On this channel I like to talk about money and things that can make your life around the house a little bit simpler. So the kind of Airbnb that I'm talking about right now is one that is physically in your house or connected to your house. So for us, we have a suite that is connected to our house. We put in a soundproof wall, and it only has an exterior entrance, so they have all their own space to themselves, but we do share that wall and the building. So let's start with the pros of having an Airbnb inside your house. The first obvious pro is the extra income. So for us and our suite, we are averaging about $1,000 a month. We haven't actually done this for a year yet, so we don't really know what the whole year is going to average out to. And of course, 2020 was a little bit of a strange year, so we will see. But so far, we are making about $1,000 gross before taxes and expenses on our Airbnb. The next perk to having an Airbnb inside your house is that you get to work from home. So I have decided to start calling myself a stay-at-home-ish mom, because sometimes I work outside of the home, but I spend quite a bit of time at home working and taking care of my child. So I'm a stay-at-home-ish mom. I'm working inside of the house, I'm working outside of the house, I'm working at the house. If you have an Airbnb in your house, it's something very doable for a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home-ish mom to accomplish during her day. So having an Airbnb in your house is kind of like a little bit of a different sort of job where you don't need to dress up, you don't need to talk to anyone. We mostly just message our guests. So I'm not having conversations with people. I am not dressing up or doing my makeup. I did not buy fancy looking clothes to go clean the Airbnb or anything like that. So that is definitely handy that there are no normal work expectations for dress or decorum or conversation. Another perk of the Airbnb is that you can take time off whenever you want. You do need to look at your calendar and plan in advance, because people do book in advance, but you can block out any dates you want. You could decide that one month you just didn't want to mess with it at all. You could decide that you needed to take that weekend off. You could, if you couldn't find anybody to clean the Airbnb, you could just block out those dates altogether so that you wouldn't have to worry about that. So unlike a normal 9-to-5 job where people care if you take time off, the Airbnb doesn't really care. You aren't making any money, but you can take off time whenever you would like. So here are a few things, some of which I thought of before we started the Airbnb, and some of which are just coming up as we go. Some things that may cause you to pause when thinking about having an Airbnb inside your house. So the first thing is that you gotta think about noise. So I teach piano, and the physical piano you can hear in the Airbnb, even though we did our best to insulate, because it's big and it's loud. So we have warned our guests about the times when that might be happening, so they're aware of that before they come. But this means I'm not practicing the piano really loud at 9 p.m. at night or 7 a.m. And then also it means that I am trying to keep my child quiet during quiet hours per se, and not letting him dump out all of his Duplos all at once at 6 o'clock in the morning. Another thing to think about is that the size of your space kind of taps out your income. So this is not exponential income. You can't ultimately keep on raising your rates. People will stop booking. It won't be an affordable place for them. So this just means that if you're making $1,000 a month or something, it's not like next month you could work more and do $5,000 a month or something like that. So the size of your space and the things that you're offering kind of top out what you can charge. Another thing is that you need to be around to clean. So this means I'm looking at the schedule, I'm thinking about the other things I need to do during that day, and I'm making sure that I'm cleaning at the appropriate days and that I'm going to be around to do it. Most guests are awesome and leave our space in tip-top shape, and I can clean the Airbnb and do the laundry in less than an hour, no problem. But occasionally you will get a very messy guest, and that can double or triple your cleaning time, and it can also cause you to have to do a lot more laundry. So in a normal clean, I would do about 1 load of laundry for 1 guest, but then if the guests were very messy and they got the comforter messy and the quilt messy and the extra set of sheets messy, and then you could be up to 5 or 6 loads of laundry, which really makes a difference. And sometimes you are scrubbing the walls, and sometimes you are scraping stickers off the toilet seat, and other gross things. So that's just a reality to think about, and that's kind of what this means when you decide to have an Airbnb. Is sometimes there will be really gross guests, and you'll be texting your husband and being like, "Can you believe what they did?" And you also never know when those guests will be there. So you don't know how messy people will leave your space, and you still have the same amount of time to clean it. So they check out at 11 and check-in is at 3. So you have that 4-hour window to clean, whether or not they were incredibly clean and didn't even take a shower, or if they got everything messy and you have to deep clean the whole place. So the other thing to think about is that to host your space on Airbnb's website, you need to follow their rules. So last year they had all the hosts agree to their enhanced cleaning 5-step protocol, and otherwise they would take your listing off the site. So we agreed to that, and it meant some things for us and how we cleaned. Not all of them are bad. This is just an aspect of hosting your space on Airbnb. This meant we had to buy a lot more cleaning supplies like hand sanitizer, sanitizing wipes and gloves, special cleaners and stuff like that to follow their protocol. So this means we have to wear a mask, we have to sanitize certain things, we're wearing gloves, we're changing our gloves, we're sanitizing our hands in between the cleaning part and the resetting part, and all these things. So that's just something to consider. If you decide to host your space on Airbnb, then you'll have to be okay with following the rules that they have laid out. Another thing to consider is that cleaning supplies and extra sheets and towels and extra toilet paper, they take up space. So you have to store them somewhere in your actual residence, unless you can like lock them up somewhere in your Airbnb. But for us, we're storing it in the laundry room, and it does take up quite a bit of space. I've got a bin for my refillable things like oatmeal packets and Keurig coffees and water bottles and stuff. And then I've got a general cleaning bin with my rags and my spray and stuff like that. And then I also have a sanitizing bin with the wipes and such. Then we're also storing all the extra towels and sheets that aren't in the Airbnb. So that was just a few things for you to consider if you're thinking about opening your own Airbnb inside your house. Let me know down in the comments which pros and cons you weren't expecting. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any uploads, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.